my kitchen. I am Chef Jill Holland here with a spoonful of hope. You guys voted, so today I am making cheesy lasagna. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so good. Let me log on. We're gonna do a lot of stuff over here at the stove today, so I'm not gonna spend a lot of time at the island. So I moved. So welcome. Every time. Let's see if we can see me. Welcome. There's my lines. Let's see. There I am. Yay. All right. So, hey Shelly. Good afternoon. So definitely say hi to me if you're joining so I can see you up on here. If you just like it, if you just like the video, I can't really see you while I'm working. So say hi, say something, ask a question, give me some feedback, say a funny joke, something. But welcome. So come on over to the stove. Let me show you what we've got going on right now. I took about 2 jars of the soup for good, the tomato basil soup for good. It's got all the yumminess in it. It's got your onions and your garlic and your basil and all of that depth of flavor right in the soup. But we don't want it so thin like the soup. We want it thick and saucy. So what I did is I actually put the lasagna noodles down in the soup. You see them down in there? So that's going to thicken up your soup, and it's going to cook your lasagna noodles right in there. And they're starting to get flexible. I also added about 3 cups of canned diced tomatoes. So see, those noodles are getting nice and soft. You can see them. And if they break when you put them in, it's okay, because you're just going to layer them into the lasagna anyways. So that's fine. So we're going to take that. All right. Who else is joining us? Say hi if you've joined us. Let me see if I do this. Maybe they will. I don't know. All right, so we're going to make what's called a bechamel. It's a thickened milk sauce. Right now, I don't know which way you want me. In here, I have 1.5 ounces of melted butter. Okay? And by weight, I'm going to add 1.5 ounces of flour. And this is your base. This is what's called a roux. And that's spelled R-O-U-X, if anybody is wondering or cares. And we're just going to mix that up, and it's going to toast just a little bit. It'll start to smell nutty. And there's all kinds of different roux, and it all depends on how dark you make it. We are cooking this just to be what is called a blonde roux. You can do it as little bit as what's called a white roux, which basically means you're just cooking that flour a little bit. And you're going to start to see, you see it starting to bubble now? That's what you want. And it's getting a little pasty. This is going to thicken your sauce. Let's see. Who else has joined us? Sorry, I just went right in front of the camera. Oh, Shelly says she thinks the mic is covered, but now we're back. All right. Thanks, Shelly. I'm going to twist this around a little bit so that I can see a little better. Okay. So now I'm going to add my milk. You want it to be room temperature or warm so you don't get dumplings. And I'm going to add it just a little bit at a time so I can whisk it out and not get big clumps of flour. Okay. You want to whisk with thick wires There's a couple different types of whisks. One is called a sauce whisk, which is what I'm using today. It's got big thick wires. The other is called a balloon whisk, and it has real thin wires and a lot of them. That one's also known as a piano whisk. But the balloon whisk is for adding air into things. You're going to use it to make things like whipped cream and that kind of stuff. Alright, so we're whisking up our bechamel now. We're going to let that get nice and smooth. And I've just got the heat on a low heat. If you're just joining us, we're making a bechamel. I'm going to add the rest of that milk in there. That's about 2 cups of whole milk. If you don't have whole milk, but you have skim milk or heavy cream, use 3 parts of your skim milk to 1 part heavy cream. So for the 2 cups, I did a 1/4 cup of heavy cream, and nope, I did 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Math is hard. I did 1/2 cup of heavy cream and 1.5 cups of skim milk. So you can see how that is nice and smooth and it's getting thick. You kind of see it sticking to the edge of the pan there. You want it to be what's called nappe, and that means we're going to take a spoon. Actually, I'm going to give my noodles a stir here real quick. So we have, yep, see, they're not getting nice and soft. And like I said, if they break apart, it's okay. It's not a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off now because they are pretty soft. And they will cook a little bit more in your lasagna. I'm going to just take that off. Alright. So to this, I am going to add, because right now it's pretty bland, it's just flour and milk, basically. I'm going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then some of those mixed herbs that I am so very fond of, and that's a mixture of thyme, basil, oregano, and marjoram. All right, who else has joined us? Lynette, hi Chef, hi Tira, good to see you. Who else? Greg Higgerson, good to see you. All right, so what nappe means is one of those fancy French words. It means you can take your spoon and coat the back of your spoon, and you can draw a line and see how that line stays. That's what you're looking for. And even if it doesn't drip, even better, because you do want this pretty thick. So I'm going to cook this up just a little bit more so that it thickens just a little more. You do not want to boil this necessarily because a lot of times the flour will sink down to the bottom. That's why I'm constantly stirring also. The flour will kind of rest on the bottom of your pan and you may end up scorching it. You don't want that. So keep it moving and it can come to a simmer but not a boil. Let's see. Christina, hello, I miss you, my dear. All right, so if you're just joining us, we just finished up the bechamel, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that heat off, and as it sits, it's going to thicken up a little more. Now, in this bowl, I'm going to move my mouse out of the way because I might splash a little. In this bowl, I have 2 cups of ricotta, 2 cups of shredded mozzarella, 1 cup of Parmesan cheese, and as I mix it, you'll see it. I've got 2 eggs in here, 2 whole eggs. And we're gonna just give that a stir. And this is going to be the main event right here in our lasagna. So again, you want to add some more flavor to that. Let's put some more of those mixed herbs in there. A good amount. Don't be shy on those herbs. The soup is really super flavorful, so you don't have to add anything to the soup. All I added was some of those diced tomatoes, those fine diced tomatoes, so that it gives it a little more heft, a little chunkiness. All right, so that's nice and mixed together and looking beautiful. The cheese is pretty salty, so I'm not going to add salt to this part, just those herbs. It's going to be great. All right, so we can put these off to the side. And I think we're ready to build our lasagna now. So you can use a loaf pan, you can use like a square casserole dish, any size pan that you see fit. Just make enough noodles. I find half a pack of lasagna noodles is great for this kind of loaf size pan. It's about 4-inch deep and probably about 9 inches or so wide. Yum, bechamel. By itself, no one said that ever. All right, so if you're just joining us, what I did to cook the lasagna noodles was I cooked them right in our soup. So that's gonna add flavor to the noodles while you're cooking and while you're thickening the soup. Otherwise, if you're just boiling it in water, they're gonna be just plain noodles. There's nothing wrong with that, but why not add flavor? So these are really hot, so I'm gonna add I'm gonna put on a couple gloves. Cause ow. All right. And I'm actually gonna double them up because it's a little toasty. All right, so we're just giving that a little stir. You will see as it sits, sometimes it gets a little crust on it, and that's okay. Just give it a little stir. It's not a big deal. All right. There's our cheese mixture. So now I'm gonna take some of the sauce and I'm gonna layer it down on the bottom of our pan. Make sure you say hello if you are on. All right. I'm giving my cameraman a run for his money today because we're trying to get the right angles. He's a great guy. I'm pretty fond of him. Thank you, Mr. Holland.
You're welcome.
All right. So we're going to pull these out and we're just going to layer them across the bottom. So I found the first one I pulled out was a little short, so I know I had some broken pieces in here. It's okay. We're just going to kind of layer them up. He's seeing everybody's comments. Tira says, hi, Aaron.
Hello.
Oh, there's my little short piece.
Mr. Chef Joe, best cameraman ever.
He is. I agree, Lynette.
Watch this. Watch this. It's going to be fancy.
What?
Oh, no, I messed it up.
Oh, that's okay. Great shot of my apron.
I'm just trying to get to the other side.
That was our transition shot. Okay, so I've got the noodles layered in here. Did you get a shot of that, babe? Got the noodles layered in there, and because I'm pulling it out, it's from the sauce. It's already got sauce on it, so I don't have to add a layer of sauce, but I'm gonna add just a little bit, not a lot. And now I'm gonna take some of that bechamel. Switch out for the spoon. And we're going to add that. Just add a few spoonfuls of that. And spread that out so that it's all over the bottom of the pan. Okay. And now we're going to add our cheesy goodness. Lynette liked the fancy angle and says it was a good try. Good effort, good effort. You can't have a cheesy lasagna without lots of cheese. All right, so we're going to spread that out. And guess what I'm going to do now? I'm going to do it again. Yay! All right, so we're going to take some of our noodles. Yep, see, there's a little short one, and that's okay. It's like building a quilt or something.
Tira would like to know what's for dessert.
Ah, what did you make us, Tara? She's the baker. Ah, okay, that one's really hot. Woohoo! All right, so now we've got another layer of our noodles. I'm going to add just a little bit more sauce. And then another layer of bechamel. Now, if you are gluten-free, you can make the bechamel by thickening it with cornstarch. And then if you don't want to use the noodles, use some of those really thin sliced eggplants that we used when we made the eggplant rollatini. And just layer those inside instead of the noodles. And you can add to this, if you don't want just a plain cheese lasagna, add to it. Add beef to your sauce. Add veggies, some sauteed veggies, whatever you want to add, do it. There is no shame in that at all. Tira does zucchini, absolutely. Thin slices of zucchini, just layer it right in between. Greg says, is there enough soup left to make a Bloody Mary? There's always enough soup to make a Bloody Mary, Greg. Always. I wouldn't use this, though, because it's going to be a little starchy from the noodles. All right, so we layered that out. One more layer of noodles. These noodles do like to fall apart. I'm using a whole grain noodle. That might be why they're falling apart so much, but it's gonna be delicious. Ah, Tony, welcome. All right. I know I have enough pieces of noodles in here to create a top layer. They're in here somewhere. Just gonna spread those out. And so we're adding that tomato layer and the noodle layer all at the same time. Okay. So just a little bit more tomato on top. Not a lot, because this is your top layer. So now I'm gonna add the last little bit of the bechamel. Scrape that out. I love a silicone scraper. They are designed to get every little last bit out of your pan. All right. What did Tony say? I sort of made it on time. You did great, Tony. Lovely to see you as always. All right, so we're gonna spread that out. And now we're gonna top it with more cheese. Yes, please. All right, I'm gonna take these off because they are quite saucy. Tara, I wish this was the week I was there. All right, so we're gonna top it. I've got about a cup of mozzarella, shredded mozzarella here that I'm gonna top it with. I also have about a 1/4 cup of shredded Parmesan. And then I've got these really pretty mozzarella pearls, which look like marshmallows, but they're not. That'd be weird. Correct, Greg. There are no carbs in this at all. No carbs, no calories, for sure. Sorry to my lactose intolerant viewers today. All right, so we've got that cheesy goodness all spread out. Those mozzarella balls are going to get nice and golden. We're gonna pop this in the oven. Now, my pan is a little taller than what a lot of people have. But even with this, I'm gonna put a pan underneath it because it's gonna bubble, and sometimes it likes to just bubble over. I'm also gonna wipe the edges like this so that there's not these smudges, because those smudges will burn. I have my oven on at 400 degrees. And we're gonna pop this in. And that's gonna go in for about 35 to 40 minutes. And we're just gonna stand here and wait until that comes out of the oven. You guys gotta talk to me. No, really. Would I do that to you guys? Come on. Oh, my thing is covering up what people say. Are we serving this with garlic bread? Garlic bread would be lovely. Did you make me some bread, Tara? Yay! All right, so we've got this bubbly and gooey, beautiful, beautiful.
Through the magic of editing.
Right? By the miracle of television. All right, so let me pull some of this stuff out of the way. And see, it's all bubbly and beautiful. And we're gonna plate that up. All right, and let me get a spatula. Because this is always the easy part, right? Getting lasagna out of the pan. Let me get a knife. And I just put away I'll use my towel. Tara says, girl, right? So cheesy and bubbly. All right. So we all know there is no easy way to get lasagna out of a pan. So just pull it out and dig in there. Get my plate closer because this is gonna, it's so cheap. Like I can feel the cheese just melting everywhere. Woo! Look at that. All that cheesy goodness. I don't even know if this is the same piece because it's all just kind of oozing into itself. Mmm. But you can see all those flavors in there. You can see all the herbs. Obviously, you can see the cheese. And you want that little bit of caramelization on that cheese too, because that's going to give you more flavor too. Ooh, yum. Yum, yum, yum. All right. Nothing like eating hot cheese straight out of the oven, folks. This is going to be great. All right. Nope. Okay. I actually had reheated this one, so it wasn't in a 400-degree oven. Oh, it's perfect. Oh my gosh. So you get all that depth of flavor from the soup. You get the texture from that those small diced tomatoes in there. The noodles, the cheesiness, the more cheesiness. The bechamel just adds to that cheesy and creaminess. So good. So, so good. So, that is our cheesy lasagna. If you guys stop by Facebook, or stop by our website rather, and make sure you use the code Facebook10 to receive a 10% discount on all of your purchases, and that's a spoonfulofhope.org. We've got the soup, we've got the honeybee or the honey bears, we've got the small 16-ounce honeys, we've got the cookies, we have the big gallons of honey. It's all there on the website. Facebook 10% discount, and we are constantly adding new retailers who are carrying our products. So please visit the website to see what retail store is new and improved and carrying our product. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Love you guys. Stay safe. Be healthy. Wash your hands. Love you.